Great. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday, November 30th, running of the SEQP Telecon from Hamsai. We've got a few things on the agenda. As Nathaniel was saying, it's a busy time of year, I think, for everybody. I want to share my screen, throw the agenda up here, and there's a lot of stuff on it. Ed's got some good news on the PR topics, but we've also got a few things to discuss. Some future articles, potential newsletter, the Orlando Hamcation, and so on and so forth. We got a lot of stuff going on. So Ed, why don't you take it away to start?
Yeah, and I think we can tag team this, I guess. I mean, since we last met, we moved 2 releases and are about to move a third. The first one was on Heliophysics. It was peer-reviewed publication that appeared in Frontiers of Astronomy and Space Science. And that was posted yesterday, day before yesterday. So I guess Nathaniel, Gary, any comments here in terms of that release? Just in terms of background or anything like that we want to share?
I think it was a very good release. Okay. I think everyone on this call is aware of the Frontiers paper, so I think it's good.
Good enough. So, yep. The second one was in terms of the citizen science workshop that Gary and Nathaniel attended. That moved yesterday or today. My days are all sort of coming together here, but I know it's up on QRZ, and Amateur Radio Newsline also put it up. I moved them both to Mackenzie, and I thought she was going to move them yesterday, but I guess they'll both go up today. So if she's listening in a little bit later on, just a reminder that they're in the mailbox. The third release should go out in the next day or so, I guess. I think we've pretty much finalized it. And that's a little bit longer in terms of press release terms. It's probably, I think, 2 full pages that sort of summarizes the sort of results, quote unquote, that we've gleaned so far from the data from the annular eclipse. And my thanks to all the editors who have had a look on it. Look at Mary Lou here as well. For her solid edit in terms of what we needed to do in terms of cleaning it up at the end. So I think it's ready to go, but I know, Mary Lou, you've got your finger up. So
yes, I have a question. I didn't get to see the pictures that you chose. Could you
well, we've got
those of us or
yeah, no, that wasn't the attachment I sent. And I think we can move it after the meeting, Gary. Just note the file so we don't forget it. And that was the graphics that we had from the piece that you sent, and the other 3 graphics that we lifted from the post presentation that Nathaniel gave a couple of weeks ago.
Send it to me or to us with the pictures.
I will. And then we've got some group shots as well too. Yeah, I sent the text, but not the graphics. So sorry on that. So anyway, but that piece should go, if not tonight, then probably tomorrow, so that we're done with that. So. But that was, I think it went through about 4 or 5 edits, I guess, before we finally nailed it all down. So, and obviously I wanted to keep it tight, but we wanted to make sure that we got everything in. So all good there. So, I mean, so those are the press releases, Gary. So.
Good. The other thing that Ed and I have been talking about is that it's really kind of hard to believe in 4 months we're going to have another eclipse again after we had a year or more to prepare for the last one. It seems like the next one's going to knock us right in the head. I've got an article ready not ready. I've drafted up for CQ magazine. I think Nathaniel, you wanted to be a co-author on that, so I'd like you to take a look at it, but I know your time is pretty tight too. At the same time, Ed, did you talk to Rich about keeping us a slot in the January?
Yeah, I did. I did. I told him that January would be our target, okay, for that. So I think we're going to be good on that. So yeah, I guess, I mean, I sort of woke up in the middle of the night about a week or so ago saying, it's sort of in between things, but deadlines creep up on us pretty quickly. So, obviously we've got to move something for CQ. We talked about Spectrum Monitor. I saw Ron on the call. I don't know if he's still on here on the picture, originally coming on, but we also need to reach out to QST, okay, to make sure that we've got, something scheduled, okay, at least some space scheduled for that. So just so that we don't lose our momentum, and we've got something planned, and we've got a slot. Not only, I mean, I can handle the bulletins as we get closer, but obviously, for things such as the publications, obviously their deadlines, are a little bit longer, so we need to keep that in mind. and obviously December's right in front of us. So
let's cover that in a little bit more detail because, like you said, it is pretty important.
yeah.
Nathaniel, do you want me to send you the CQ article after I've reviewed it again, or do you have time to take a look at this thing, or what do you think you got going on?
Yeah, why don't you send it to me after you've reviewed it again?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've got to put the references and stuff in it too, so I will do that.
Great.
That'll help.
Make sure if you can put the acknowledgement in there too somehow.
The NSF and ARDC and all that, or
NASA, yeah. If we can, you can just stick the paragraph in at the end, and if they trim it down, we can, if they need it trimmed down, we can work with them on that. But all of the NSF, NASA, the universities, they all want to see their names in there.
okay, I will do that.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Okay, so that's and that was going to be the CQ article is basically a wrap up on the observations from the Eclipse, which is basically the same three graphics that went in the press release. The second thing we want to talk about is I did talk to Ron over the last couple of days, and he did offer to write up something for Spectrum Monitor again, since he did so well last time and landed us on the cover. But we do probably need to give him some assistance with some ideas of things we might want to cover for Spectrum Monitor. Any thoughts on that with the AM, the medium wave stuff? I'm not sure what else anybody might toss out.
Yeah, obviously, I think that would be the emphasis, and maybe Nick, can reach out to Ron on that too. I guess, just for anything that we need that, that we sort of learned also since we really last got together on it. So I see Nick's on the call as well.
Sorry, did you want me to say something there?
Oh, no. There wasn't a cue. It's just the fact that obviously we want to do something for Spectrum Monitor. And if Ron's volunteered to do the story, maybe he can touch base with you too, just in terms of other things that that bring him up to speed, or also other things that you may have learned, since obviously, over the last couple of weeks as we get ready to do the Spectrum story. So
yeah, okay, just have him get hold of me. And while I'm sort of talking, there's talk about press releases. Do we get to see evidence of the press release? Others who are not, sort of immediate recipients of it.
Yeah, well, the ones that are done are up on QRZ and Amateur Radio Newsline right now.
Okay,
and they should be up on. We're waiting for our own, for the Facebook site. But
okay.
The third should go up as I mentioned, either late today or tomorrow. So we'll have something up.
Okay.
Let me share my.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Gary. You want to put it up?
Okay.
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick, Nick, just to show everybody where this stuff is at. You can see it. Let me grab this real quick.
Wait, yeah.
On the HamSci homepage, there's a section on articles, and the two press releases that have gone out are both right there.
Okay.
There's the peer-reviewed paper one and the NASA Community Workshop one, basically word for word. I may do something a little different with the longer one, but this is where they will be.
Okay. Yeah, the reason I ask is I just heard from my contact at IEEE Spectrum, and he was asking specifically about, are there preliminary results? So, like that, this looks like the sort of thing I need to be looking at. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and if you've and Nick, if you've got an email address or someplace for a publication like Spectrum, maybe that should go. Ed should know what that email address is.
Yeah, we talked about Spectrum, and I know Nick said that he tried to reach out, so I'm glad. So okay. Nick, I'm looking at you here. So I'm glad that we were able to make it connect. So all good.
As I say, I've just heard back from my contact there. He's a guy I haven't been in touch with for 6 or 7 years. So, and he says, yeah, he's sending it off to the news desk at Spectrum. He thinks it looks really interesting, but it wouldn't be something he specifically would work on. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, good. Well, thanks for your efforts on that. That's good to know that that's moving along. So back to the magazine articles. Yeah, Nick and Ron, I'll hook you guys up with your email addresses after the meeting so you can know how to contact each other. I'll take care of that. Your suggestion too, Ed, for an article in QST. I don't know that we have anything, on the back burner, so to speak. The On the Air article last year covered, how to operate the SEQP. That was pretty good. The other article covered the workshop from last year. I'm not, see if anybody has any thoughts on what material we might write up for QST. It would have to be relatively soon too, because like I say, their deadlines are.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, part of it I think would be a call to action. I mean, obviously we got to get, we want to get people on the air. We want to keep it in front of people, and also, why the total eclipse is a little different than the annular, if we have some background on that. But, and obviously, we're going to cover a lot of the footwork, like, in terms of our club emails and contest club emails, that type of thing. But I think having something in front of people for QST, and certainly on the air, if we could squeeze something in as well for that too, I think would be important. So,
I mean, the easier thing for QST, at least, is they used to publish the strays. I mean, they were only a small paragraph.
yeah,
But at least there was something that would be out there as opposed to a full article.
yeah. Well, maybe it'd be worth a conversation with Becky, to see, what she thinks, how she might play it. And then from there, we could sort of work around, work something up, to her satisfaction, as well as to what we need to get done. So, and obviously keep it in her head that we need to book some space. So,
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the tough thing is the content, though. We've got to have some.
yeah, we got to have a
something
there,
something
right?
to
What's the
offer.
what? Yep. So, yeah, I mean, the reminders in that for the bulletins, as we get closer, are not a problem. But again, I'm just concerned about, sort of the publications and what we do with that, because obviously there's a very wide general audience for that.
Right, right.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess that's kind of still on the table. If somebody has some thoughts, send them back to me or whatever at any time of what
Yeah.
we might want to do for a QST article.
Well, I guess here, just so that we're not stepping on each other. So sorry to dominate this, but if you want me to reach out to Becky, I can do that. Obviously I didn't do the contact the last time, but if you want me to follow with that, I can.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Because one of
Okay.
the things I need to be focusing on is the SEQP results and that
Yep.
sort of stuff, and I've got a lot of work to do there.
Yeah,
now
and
that,
obviously everybody's stretched, so I'll pick that
yeah,
up.
we all are.
Done. Mhm. Okay, fair.
That would help a lot. Thanks, Ed.
Yep. Yeah, just one other item before I go, though, is also what I plan to do in December is obviously get the word out for people, for clubs and organizations, sort of a reminder that it's coming up on April 8th, but also if you want a presentation, here's the opportunity to reach out to us and we'll put you on our calendar. So I'll be looking to do that, through the PR committee, which meets next Wednesday night, ARL PR committee, and also through our usual media sources such as QRZ, Am Radio Newsnight, amateurradio.com, those types of sources, as well as the podcasters. So,
Yeah, because people recall, I think Ed was very wise. He kind of held back in the podcasters and that sort of thing last fall, in hopes that we'd hit them up a lot harder this spring through January, February, and March.
yep.
So I think it's going to give us a lot of opportunities, but we also need people to take on some of those recordings too. So
Yep. We need talent, as they say. So,
okay. Another thing is we had mentioned briefly, the Orlando Hamcation is in early February, and Nathaniel generously offered to have Hamside pay for the booth, and that's been done. We've got the booth, we've got it reserved. We're in the right hall, as Ed said, suggested to me we participate. So for now, the two, Ed and I will be there, but I'll also put some stuff out on the Hamside Reflector. We'll have a sign-up sheet. The Orlando Hamcation has a pretty good attendance, and I know there's usually some other Hamside people there, some Tapper folks and whatnot. So booth 189, we'll put a sign-up sheet for people to participate.
Never enough time.
Yeah.
There's
and I'll have orange juice for you.
Are there? I don't know. There's been so many freezes down there. I'm not sure you guys still have
It may not be Florida oranges, but it will be
Yeah,
orange.
that's right. Have to import them from Mexico or something.
Yeah, right. Brazil, right.
My
So,
top.
all right.
I know, right?
You the AGU poster for you know, schedule.
Okay, the next thing I had, I think that's,
Think I'm doing like.
we had talked in the past about a couple of different flyers and also club activities. And I want to bring up a web page on the club activities since the two of those go together. Let's see.
Like, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I'm not
I'm
faulting.
bringing it up before I share my screen.
I know we're all like, I still need to work on my lecture for tomorrow for DSP.
It's gonna be more stuff like that's
Yeah,
gonna
here it
help
comes.
the Steve Serwin project, right?
Hey, Nathaniel, you want to mute your mic, please?
Oh, sorry, I thought it was muted.
Sorry, guys.
Okay,
It's two ways
so
to
back in, I think it was July of last year, we did a little brainstorming on this call about some activities for clubs. And all I did is it kind of sat in my folder and we didn't have time to act on it before the October event. But now that April's coming, I think we ought to put this page together and clean it up a little bit. Right now, this is on the HABSI website. It's not linked anywhere. It's not nearly ready for publication, but at least I wanted to get the stuff on, well, in bits or on paper, so to speak. One of the things we talked about, it's brought up a couple of times too, is that, you know, if people are going to give talks or people are interested in HAMSI, they go to their local club meetings, what handouts and things might they have to distribute? And actually now we've kind of got two flyers, one of which Mackenzie's worked on and looks pretty nice. It's very much Eclipse specific for our event in April, which is nice. And the other one that I worked on is what I call HAMSI General, explains a little bit about what HAMSI is and what some of our projects are, and has the QR code links and all that sort of stuff in the back. It's a two-sided flyer. That needs jazzing up a little bit. It's kind of, I guess I'd say, flat looking. I think I'm going to ask Mackenzie to help with that. Let's see what she's got time-wise, if she's got time available, because she did such a nice job on the Eclipse flyer. So we can put those links here, and then people can pull them up, print them out, and take them to their club meetings. So that's one of the things we discussed in the past. Suggestions for clubs also, don't wait until the day of the eclipse. Put us in your club's program schedule, as Ed was saying. Schedule a HAMSI speaker and so on and so forth. Drive people over to the Grape One. I've still got some, I get requests. Got another one today from NJIT about building some grapes. So I've been talking to Heelman, Kim, and some others there about building more grapes. Partnering with the local astronomy club before, during, or after the eclipse. We can, if obviously people can be outdoors in a good part of the country observing, and there's no reason that hams couldn't set up there, have a table, a podium, a field day style type thing there. This was an idea that was thrown out about folks that have software defined radios, using them to participate. Doing propagation predictions. I think a couple of these may have come from Ward. He wasn't able to join us today. Getting involved with local schools and whatnot. And as Bill was saying earlier, get on Whisper. It's a very relatively inexpensive mode, a few $100s at most. You get a Whisper transmitter up, throw up a quick antenna, and people can be watching the Whisper propagation reports live throughout the eclipse if they want. One thing we haven't done much with is the STEM opportunities. I think maybe Ed, I'm not sure, well, I'm sure it was Ed or Ward, suggesting we work with Mike Walters at the league. I'm not sure if there's any educational materials on the Eclipse or Eclipse events from the league, but it'd be nice to kind of partner with them and get some stuff put up here as well.
Yeah, I know we moved the original list over to Mike, okay? And I think that he brought it up in one of his section manager meetings, but I'll follow with him, you know, see what else he needs from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the education piece is pretty nice. So anyhow, so this page is coming together. If there's more ideas, if anybody's got more ideas on what club activities, you know, we could just send the club folks here. and say, pick and choose and whatnot. But I'd certainly like to add to the list we have here.
One thing I'm going to try to do, Gary, I got a HDMI to live web stream encoder, and I'm going to try hooking that up to my Grape DRF, and I'm going to see if I can feed the video of my Grape DRF to a YouTube channel feed and see how that works. And if that works, then it's an easy way to let people look in real time how the the sun and the eclipses are affecting the Grape data.
That's pretty slick. Hopefully that works out. It'd be nice
Yeah.
to.
I'm going to see if I can get it. It'll be nice if I could get it running before the AGU meeting, so I could run around the AGU meeting and be like, "Hey, look at this." But we'll see. That might be a little more than I can handle.
Yeah, I just had a thought that just triggered off of that, is that I know, here in the 2017 eclipse, we had a guy who was really interested. I think I mentioned this to a couple of people, who had a solar telescope. And that really made the event, and that not only for what we were doing inside, but also solar telescope. I mean, just in doing a lot of these presentations, I've run into a couple of clubs. Binghamton is one. Middlebury, the Addison County Club up in Vermont, is another, and also West Palm Beach, where their club literally meets inside an observatory. And that might be a really good idea, maybe to tie something together with the club and the observatory, in terms of maybe doing something around an eclipse party. So, and I don't know whether they talk to each other, but we can certainly be the conduit to maybe suggest something that way. Maybe Mary Lou as well. I mean, just maybe a short list of observatories that are on or near the path, and we could sort of tie a club together, with that around a Hampshire experiment, that type of thing. So that might be, and we've got enough time to do that. I think we would have enough time, just at least to put the idea out there and see what clubs can grab onto it. Dayton, I think, right, Gary? Isn't Dayton on the path as well? So I don't know, is there an observatory in Dayton? I'm not sure. So
Could very well be.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So that page needs to get flushed out, and then we need to publicize it once it's cleaned
Yep.
up. Okay. In the solar eclipse QSO party, the scoring, I've been in contact with Adarsh, who has a class at this time and hasn't been able to join us this semester, but he feels that he's doing coming along very well in the SEQP scoring. He's got access to the logs and the programs he's been working on. He said the logs have been pretty clean, as I expected they would be. The log robot does a lot of checking so far as the formatting, not only of the headers, but the actual line by line data. So the fact that he's able to read the logs and get that much back to me, I think is a good thing. I asked him if we could get this thing wrapped up roughly by the end of the year or so, and he feels confident that's possible. Well, I mean, that's only a month away. He's got to get to
Gary?
finals and that sort of stuff too. So
Hey,
at
Gary.
least that's moving along. Yeah, Jake.
Did you by any chance happen to remember I did send my login to you? I emailed it to you. So
Yes,
yeah,
I did receive it, and I've got to look at it again because it didn't really follow the right Cabrillo format. There were some
oh,
things
well,
missing,
anything I
and so
can, if I can do anything to help you resolve that, send me an email and let me see what I can do.
yeah, that was my plan. My personal goal is to get the CQ article kind of off my desk, and
Yeah.
then dive into the SEQP thing. So there's like 2 or 3 logs in the Hamsai email. Yours is one of them that need attention before I can move them into the scoring bucket.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that'll happen.
And Ed, did I hear you say, I joined the meeting late? Did I hear you say that somebody would be available to make a presentation, a Zoom presentation to my local club?
Yeah, we're looking to obviously to solicit presentations. So if you want to send us the club and the date, we'll one of us will do it. So that'll be great. So
okay, let me check with the high priest and grand guru of the scheduling of my club. It'll be sometime next year. The this year is booked.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good. So yeah, I've got, I'm gonna be able to focus on the SEQP scoring starting later this week. That's gonna feel good when I get that going. Got the club activities page, we talked about that. Nathaniel, I just wanted to give you a couple minutes. I mean, are you all set on AGU? You don't need anything to discuss that? You're okay there?
Yeah, I think I'm good right now.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I don't see Gareth on there with us today. I had a question for him, so we'll let that one go by. Let me pull something else up on the screen here real quick if I can find it. Let's see. Too much stuff and too many different drives. That's my biggest problem. And let me find it in my email. Let's see here. It might not be in this computer, might just my luck. Ah, okay, here it is. So actually, Nathaniel, this is a suggestion from you. Let me share my screen here again. Get back to Zoom. So one of the questions we've raised a couple of different times on various calls is the fact that we've got a lot of projects going on and they generate a lot of data, a lot of information. And one of our, I guess, pitfalls, is we generate far more data than we've got people to look at and analyze it. Plus, I guess I'd say the citizen science side of the community hasn't been able to play much of a role in that data analysis because we really don't have a set of tools for the average HAMSI member to use to be able to look at and manipulate some of our files. One of the things we talked about a little bit while we were together at the conference is, hey, what would we do to come up with, say, a HAMSI volunteer software team? This team would, develop, test, and document tools that the average HAMSI member could use to explore and manipulate and graph some of the files in this example, particularly from the Grape 1 and in the next couple of months, the Grape 2 system. The couple of the ideas I had, suggestion has been to develop them in Python so people can execute it in Jupyter notebooks so they don't have to run it on their local machine. But there's, some considerations and what the software might want to do, how it might be used. And then, of course, we need people to help test the software and of course, write end user documentation too, because you just write software and nobody knows how to use it. It's like the tree falling over in the woods and nobody's there. It won't get picked up by anybody. So Nathaniel, is there anything you wanted to say about this or things we should do to try to move this along? Do you have any suggestions?
I think with getting people involved in the process in general.
Right.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I think we're moving in a good direction. I think Steve, I think people are starting, let's see. Yeah, so I mean, I showed some code this morning that could be used for this sort of thing. I think we're moving in this direction. I think we just need a bit more time to keep doing it. If I'm sorry, I'm a little overloaded at the moment, Gary.
That's okay. We can bring it up another time too. I just, not a big
Yeah.
deal.
I think we should. I think we do want to have a volunteer software team, but I think that yeah, maybe we can pick it up after the new year and work on that.
That's fine. No big deal. We can put that in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Easy to do. Okay. The other thing is, I was gonna pull the calendar up here on one of the computers, is we've got, it is December and there are holidays at the end of the year. And just so people know what to expect and what to plan for, I'd kind of like to come up with a formal schedule of when we will and won't have calls through December and January. And then, as Ed said, we don't, if we don't even have the former calls and record them and all that sort of thing, if a couple of us are working on something, we want to get together, these links are always open. So it doesn't mean we won't see each other or can't see each other for weeks at a time. So I would think that December 7th and 14th, is everyone okay with having meetings those 2 weeks? Any issues with that? Going once, twice?
Those are good.
No.
I personally will not be able to be there because I'll be at the AGU meeting and at the CDAR meeting.
Okay.
The 7th is good. 14th, I'm probably in West Palm Beach, so it's probably good. So
Okay. I mean, we can be flexible and we always put the notices out on the Google group. So that would give us a couple of weeks off at the end of the year, the 21st and the 28th for the holidays.
Mhm.
I don't have them all on my calendar, but that seems reasonable. And I think that probably lines up with the grape group and Thursday mornings as well, I'd imagine.
I know I've been missing in action for a while, but 14th, I'm going to be on an airplane.
Okay.
I'll cancel on the ham site calendar. I'll cancel the 14th and the 20. I'm sorry, I'll cancel the 21st and the 28th.
Right.
Great.
So then we'll resume HAMSI activities starting January 2nd, which is a Tuesday. So anything after that.
Yeah. So we've got, yeah, because the first we probably won't have I don't think we'll have the
Not on Monday.
tangerine on
New Year's
Monday.
Day.
No, that's
Yeah, well,
pretty unlikely.
yeah, I agree.
So it looks like so far as the grape and which is up to Rachel and the SEQP, I'd like to get the SEQP started again on the 4th because then we're exactly 3 months out from the next eclipse. So
That sounds good.
okay. All right, that covers all the stuff that I wanted to get through today. Is there any questions, any other issues, anything anybody wants to bring up? Nice. Okay, we can quit early then.
lot to do. So
Yep. So, all right, thank you everyone for your participation and your ideas and whatnot, and keep in touch, and we'll see everyone next Thursday, I hope.
Take care. Thanks.
73.
All right.
7th
73 all.
for everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Adios.
7-3.